And the big results coming in now in the 2024 US presidential election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Of course, early days yet, but Donald Trump establishing so far what looks like a commanding lead in the race for the White House. He is leading in a number of key swing states, Georgia, North Carolina, as well, key states that he was hoping to win. He's won Ohio as well. And now the New York Times showing that he has an 80% chance of winning this race for the White House against Kamala Harris. Joining us is Geeta Mohan, who is on the ground. Geeta, could you tell us where exactly you are? What exactly is the mood on the ground as the results are coming in? Right. I think that she's having some trouble hearing me, but we're going to keep, bringing you just what is turning out to be a fascinating election day in the United States. As I pointed out, the New York Times right now with its election needle saying that Donald Trump has a 78% chance of winning the election. That is because he has taken something of a lead in Georgia and North Carolina, which are of course two states in the southeastern United States that together account for around 30 electoral votes. Remember that in the last presidential election in 2020, Joe Biden won by 306 electoral votes out of 538 to beat Donald Trump. Now, if Kamala Harris loses those two states, she's down to 276, which is a razor thin margin, and she is also expected to lose ground in other states. So it is looking like a very close race at this point in time. We're keeping absolutely tuned to the latest counts from the US election, as well as trying to figure out where exactly Kamala Harris is trailing, where exactly is Donald Trump leading, as well as vice versa. We're just going to try and reconnect with Geeta Mohan. Geeta, just checking again, can you hear us? Can you tell us where exactly you are and what the mood is on the ground right now as the results are coming in?
Well, we are the only Indian channel which has got an entry and access to the Watch Party, the Republican Watch Party. It's the Republican in the coalition that invited us over. And so Global is in the very space where Donald Trump will be in some time from now. When I say sometime, Shashank, it's not just sometime, it'll take a while because counting is still on. There are two major screens on both sides, if you can see, and Republican supporters are out here who are waiting, watching very closely what the results are. And the results are trickling in. It does seem like the red states that we've been discussing are going to Trump. The blue states have been going to Kamala Harris. There is no state that has flipped. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Virginia. But as of now, the swing states are where the interesting numbers are. Pennsylvania is a very close call. It seems like Trump is very close right now in Pennsylvania. Should he manage a win, he wins the presidency. But if he loses Pennsylvania, it'll be very difficult for him to really get to that magic number. Why? Because Kamala Harris, there is other routes. But for Trump, Pennsylvania is key. So, what's happening in Pennsylvania? We had Shalab Kumar just a while ago, and we tried getting him on to join us. Explain, according to him, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania are three states that could make a huge difference to the Republican camp. So right now, if you see, and I'll just turn the camera around to show you, there are Republican supporters who are here at the convention center. This is the Palm Beach County Convention Center. They're all waiting. This is going to be a long night. And people over here monitoring the screens. Over there, you can see the American flag and the state center. That's where Donald is going to come. And that's the hard Republican Party. But I'm here in the United States of America when things look
Right. So we're losing Geeta Mohan a little bit there. Yeah, we're losing Geeta a little bit there, but what she was trying to tell us is that Pennsylvania, absolutely essential to this election, is going to be absolutely key for both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Remember, this is a state that has 19 electoral votes. That is often seen as a bellwether state where Pennsylvania goes, so does the rest of the election. It is absolutely neck and neck in the polls at this point in time. Hard to predict a winner, but as I was saying, the New York Times saying that, in fact, in their estimation, Donald Trump has established a lead over Kamala Harris that will, if it holds up, ensure that he has an 80% chance of winning the White House. But really, right now you may see some slightly skewed numbers coming up on your screens if you're turning on television channels in India as well as in the United States. Of course, it's showing Donald Trump with 178 electoral votes, Harris with 91 electoral votes. So it seems on the face of it that Donald Trump has almost double the votes that Kamala Harris does. But really, what you need to realize is that there are a number of key Democratic states that have not come in, that have not been called yet, including the state of California, the largest state in the United States, that has 54 electoral votes, really 10% of all the votes that are on electoral votes that are on offer of the entire total have not been factored in yet. With California hasn't come in. Much of the West Coast leans Democratic. That has not come in just yet. So we're still waiting on those results, but those reliably are Democratic states. So if you're wondering why there seems to be such a massive disparity between Trump and Harris, trust me, the election is a lot closer than that. Those states will go for Harris, and you'll see that 91 to 178 number that you're seeing a lot will then even out. So another thing that you're seeing right now at this point in time is really these neck and neck battles, as we have been seeing throughout this election in the race for the White House, is this neck and neck battle in the 7 key swing states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, as well as Virginia now, which has turned out to be, which used to be a solidly Democratic state. Now we're seeing some movement towards Donald Trump. But let me get Geeta Mohan back into the conversation. We stabilized our connection. Geeta, could you tell us a little bit about, a little more about what you were saying? These battleground states that we're talking about. Could you tell us a little bit about where they are right now? You're sitting in front of course, the Republican Watch Party. How are the Republicans feeling? Are they feeling confident as these results are coming in?
Well, some of them quite confident. We were speaking to a few earlier. We should be putting out those sound bites as well, but also a little fearful because they all come with a past election experience, and so they do think that if something happens, if and that's Shelly joining us. Let's just take the question to him, Shashank, because he's here right now. Shashank really wanted to ask, what are the factors, what are the things that are at play in the swing states this time around, and which are the swing states that are essential for Donald Trump to really win?
The 3 swing states that will decide the election are Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Okay, so in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, when CNN did exit polling, economy was the #1 topic, 35%. Above any other, democracy versus abortion. Abortion was way down, like 13% or so. So it was the economy. That's a good sign. It's a good sign for President Trump. Now, I was just at the board and looking at it closer. So what I'm seeing a positive sign also is in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, President Trump has doubled as compared to 2020. He has doubled his vote percentage among African American men and Latino men. So his percentages are up there.
Okay.
And so Wisconsin, he is doing better
Okay.
than the other states are North Carolina, Georgia. They're all predictable.
Are they?
They're
Are they?
predictable. That's
Okay.
what's going to happen with them.
But they are going Trump way.
Yeah.
Arizona and Georgia.
Right. Georgia is
Swing
going to be
states,
Trump.
but they're going Trump.
Yeah. So ultimately, for the analysts, it's always been three states: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin,
Michigan.
and Michigan. So the trend is fairly positive.
Okay.
So, like what I had predicted to you before, that it is quite possible that 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
You'll have Trump right there.
maybe Trump will be the
I'm showing you the stage, Shashank. Trump will be there, but
I'm
will
not
he?
saying
Will
will
it
be
be?
there.
He
No,
will be there.
No,
But will it be a victory speech or not is the question.
he is not going to speak.
If the numbers are not in favor,
No, if if it's very close,
he's not going to.
yeah, there's no point in the coming off the stage and just say, okay, here we are close and all that. So
If there's a clear picture,
I certainly would not recommend that, but I'm not the one who calls the shots on that would be Susan Wiles or Jason Miller, those at the top, those people will make the decision.
Okay.
Susan Wiles is a person totally in the background,
okay,
but she is the boss.
okay,
Susan
okay. That's a
Wiles.
name. That's a name to remember then. But in terms of the states, the swing states also, Kamala Harris seems to be still leading ahead. It's early, but she's still leading in
Yeah,
Wisconsin. She's leading in Pennsylvania.
Right.
I've not seen Michigan yet.
No, yeah, in all those states, but when an analyst, let's say the computer whiz people, when they compare all the numbers, what they see is what is the trend from 2020, what's the trend from 2016. They go county by county. So in here, a proper analysis is done county by county.
Look at the atmosphere over here, Shelley. You think the Republicans are excited, or are they also concerned given the past experience of the past election?
They are very excited, but they get easily excited, not like me.
Yeah, not like it, because every time the channels are calling the red state for Trump, there's massive excitement over here and celebration. And Shelley keeps saying, but it's a red state. You don't need to get excited about a red state.
Not only red state, but
and then they boo when it's a blue state called for Kamala Harris. That also happens.
Right.
But we haven't seen a state flip, and we haven't seen critical swing states being called.
But Harris campaign, Kamala campaign, was hoping for Georgia and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Those are the two states they were hoping to turn.
And they did not.
They are not. They are not
not
turning those the states. So from the numbers which I'm seeing right now, and again, I look at counties as well, not just the state.
Yeah.
So based on that, President Trump is going to carry Georgia. President Trump is going to carry North Carolina.
Okay. Another interesting thing. Donald Trump and his coterie, they're in Mar-a-Lago right now, watching the results, which includes Elon Musk, who was just doing a Twitter space a while ago. And he said, President Trump has won Iowa, which is
6 points.
which is important, Shashank, because there were reports that he was going to lose Iowa, and if that would have happened, it would have really meant disastrous. It would have been a disaster for Trump. No, but there were some reports where they were saying that he's losing.
I vote in Iowa.
You vote in Iowa?
Even though from Chicago, because Chicago, my vote doesn't count.
But there were some reports that Iowa is going blue.
No. That was a defined register, a leftist paper.
Yeah.
That has no value.
Okay, no value. Certainly, it has been called, and Iowa has gone to Trump as expected. So no flipping happening. That's
okay. I gotta go.
That's Pennsylvania. Okay, he's keenly watching. So every time something happens in the swing state, you see Shelley run to the street to get a reading. What happens?
56% only in Pennsylvania. The numbers are
But 56%, but Trump is leading.
Yeah, but only 56%.
But he's still leading. He's leading by 2 points. That's
not enough.
Okay, he's not an optimist. I am.
You're an optimist.
When I say an optimist, it's not mean I'm supporting either side. I'm just saying that over here it looks good for Trump. Let's see. And now, why good? Which is what we were discussing earlier when it comes to Pennsylvania. It's not just the economy. It's the fracking. The fracking
That
statement
is the economy.
Yes, but
Jobs,
Yes,
economy,
yes.
that goes together.
but very specifically to do with what Kamala Harris's position is on environment and climate change. As vice president, she made very specific statements on fracking and banning fracking. As soon as she became the Democratic candidate, realizing that she'll lose Pennsylvania, she said she's not going to ban fracking. But do you think Pennsylvania believes it?
No, Pennsylvania does not believe what Kamala said. Kamala, like I said, she's a chameleon. She keeps on changing her position. Now, the one real concern,
Okay.
there's going to be some votes there because there are 450,000 Puerto Rican voters
Oh, okay.
in Pennsylvania. So that's a little concern. I mean, they're mature enough. They don't, not everybody, but let's say 5% of them, 10% of them, they flip. That's like 45,000 votes.
That is.
450,000 voters, but they don't always vote. So let's say half of them vote. Say 250.
So the Puerto Rican statement by Trump also has not gone down well, or Vance has not gone down well. So that should be a concern.
The Puerto Ricans will be, even it was comedian who made a stupid statement that is like a floating garbage island.
Yeah.
So if people, everybody has pride. So if they have pride in their country or in their state, Puerto Rico, they will be offended.
Absolutely.
So there will be some people who will be offended.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that has to be
fracking and the Puerto Rican vote bank in Pennsylvania both could be factors. One in favor of Trump, one against Trump. So either way.
Right. And the biggest one has been the economy.
Okay.
They were expecting economy not to be the number one in Pennsylvania.
But that has been the case. But that's been the case, Shelley, across board because inflation has been hurting a lot of people. And many people I've been speaking to also say that wars that Biden-Harris administration has gone to has cost them a lot. Should they have not gone to the wars, they could have fixed the economy. Something that Trump reiterated and that has resonated with certain quarters.
See, now you have to properly analyze the economy of President Trump. Of course, I say he's the Reagan on steroids. That's my position. Okay, I'm saying.
Okay.
But let's say on one side, inflation is more than 20%, negative for Joe Biden and Kamala. However, the number of jobs they have created since 2000 is 16 million. Now, you have to take into account all the jobs which were lost due to COVID. But if you take those out also, the number of jobs added is pretty good. It's about 8 million jobs they have added beyond COVID situation.
True.
So they say, okay, hey, look at that number. That economy is pretty good. Then also, there's the other issue, stock market. Stock market has done really well.
Yeah.
That has done well in the last, X number of years, 4 years. So 401k for people, that has gone up. Where the prices are high, but the 401ks have gone up.
Yeah.
So they have to take into account that. But the report which came out at the end of October, that was a very bad number.
Oh, wow. That's Michigan for you.
That number was no say.
Okay.
That's probably Grand Rapids.
Okay. Okay.
I know Michigan real well.
Okay, so you were saying on the economy.
Yeah, on the economy, there were only 12,000 each month. What the economists expect in the United States, 200,000 new jobs to be added every month. But in October, there were only 12,000. So people take a look at, only 12,000, what's happening with the economy?
Okay, so unemployment and jobs, certainly a major, major issue. So these are issues. We'll be talking about them through the night. Shalabh Kumar will keep joining us. he keeps going back to the screen and trying to gauge what's really happening. Thank you, Sharad, for joining us on the network to discuss various issues. Shashank, these are the main issues that we will also focus on through the night. And we are here at the convention center. There's a lot of color. We'll try to get a lot of people from the center, Republican supporters, and try to understand exactly what is it that they expect from this election.
I make one point. You should
Surely.
be very proud of the fact that she is the only journalist from India who is covering the Trump party live.
And I already mentioned it, that it was on invitation of the Republican Hindu Coalition that our network is here. So thank you so much. And
you have a very, very adventurous lady.
Very resourceful too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Shelley. So Shashank, that's the story out here. We will try getting you a perspective of Republican supporters, Republican voters who are here. There's a massive crowd. They've already gathered, and I can just show you around. They're all here and dressed to party. So, is this going to be really a party for them, or are there concerns that they have with regards to how the swing states will go? Something we'll have to see. But by around in about 3 hours from now, there will be clarity. There will be clarity on which way the country has actually voted. And should there be clarity without contestation, then you'll see the man of the hour right here at the convention center. And we are the only channel reporting from inside the watch party.
Thank you so much, Geeta, for that and for your conversation. Where we are right now, I'll just update before we close out this live. We'll be back again, but let me point out where we are exactly in the election race. We're showing, in fact, where in the state of Virginia, which was seeming slightly worrying for the Harris campaign just a little while back because Donald Trump had taken the lead. She's clawed the lead back. Now she seems fairly comfortably ahead. She's a point and a half ahead, so that doesn't seem to be a point of contestation. In North Carolina and Georgia, two key battleground states, Donald Trump seems to be pulling ahead. In Pennsylvania, this state is balanced on a knife's edge. Donald Trump again has the lead. Wisconsin, Michigan, if you are Kamala Harris right now, you are going to want to keep as many of the battleground states as Joe Biden had back in 2020. At this point in time, it is a neck-and-neck fight. Kamala Harris will be looking at a lot of these numbers and hoping that some of them turn around because as the map reads right now, in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Georgia, 5 of these 7 key swing states, Donald Trump is currently in the lead. Of course, with Arizona in particular, this is a lead of just about 1,000 votes. It may or may not hold up, but what we're seeing around the country is that this is exactly the competitive fight that we were promised. No blowouts, extremely close. And as Geeta was mentioning, in the next 3 hours, we should have some more clarity about how these races are headed. Geeta, thank you so much again for joining us on India Today Global, and thank you so much to our viewers for watching our coverage of the US elections 2024.